is a guy right now who also has a chance to get drafted. Do you think he put himself in that position based on what he did this season at Texas Tech?
Based on this season and what he did throughout the NCAA tournament, I think he put himself in prime position to possibly get drafted, yes.
So the NCAA tournament was great for Bryson Williams. In his last season of college eligibility, he got to play in the NCAA tournament. He led Texas Tech to the Sweet 16. Interestingly enough, all 3 of the Red Raiders tournament games were in California. You went, right?
Yes, I was able to go. I was actually fortunate enough to be able to make the drive and go out there and watch him play in all 3 California games. So it was actually a blessing for me, my wife, and the rest of the Roosevelt community. My athletic director was actually able to go also.
So you drove, right? Because I imagine with gas prices right now, it might have been more expensive to drive than fly, right?
Yeah, we drove.
So what was it like? What was it like, Coach, seeing one of your pupils on that stage?
It was exciting to see the whole prep of it, from the build-up, from him, you know, warming up and things like that, and just seeing the things that happen in the timeouts and, you know, how his body language is and good plays and bad plays, and just seeing him play live. You know, I watch him on TV all the time, but just seeing him playing live was just a blessing, just because you don't get
many a time at the Save Mart Center, of course. I imagine you went to, if not all of his games, many of his games.
Yeah, when we weren't playing, we were there.
Yeah. Bryson Williams, of course, ended up playing at 3 different colleges. Had Rodney Terry not left Fresno State and Williams also stayed, how do you think he would have done his junior and his senior years here?
I think it should have been probably similar to how it panned out. You know, I think he still would have probably played his way into the NBA. Fresno State might have been better, may not, who knows, you know. But as far as Bryson, I think his NCAA career probably would have ended similar. Just probably wasn't on the biggest stage at Fresno State than what he would have been on at Texas Tech.
When you coached him at Roosevelt, obviously he was a really good player. He's the school's all-time leading scorer. What was the main reason for him choosing to stay home and play at Fresno State?
Just wanted to play in front of his mother. You know, that was one of the big things for Bryson, is wanting to stay home where he was comfortable. He had a relationship with Coach Terry since he was in the 8th grade. Coach Terry offered him as an 8th grader. So with that, and Bryson is a type guy. So he was comfortable. He wanted to stay around, and mainly for his mother.
Look how young he looks right here. Look at that. He can still get up, though, obviously. You mentioned the loyalty there. Obviously, the loyalty to Rodney Terry is what helped land him at UTEP when Rodney Terry left Fresno State. But was he playing in front of his family and friends and following Coach Terry?
Not really, because a lot of people don't realize that the plan going into that season when he transferred was he was probably going to sit out that following season anyway to get NBA ready. It just happened that Coach Terry got the UTEP to get NBA ready by being away from everybody, you know, versus staying home and watching his teammates struggle and wanting to come out of his redshirt year deal like that. So that was the main reason.
Okay. His college career ended March 24th in the Sweet 16, that loss to Duke. How much communication have you had with him recently? Do you know what his training is like to prepare for the draft?
I've talked to him a few days ago, and he's just doing 2 and 3 a days, just trying to get NBA ready, you know, weight room, working out, eating the right way, you know, and just trying to keep his mind tunnel vision and not thinking too far ahead and getting his hopes up too high. You know, he knows whatever the stakes is, wherever they land, he's just going to go in there and be who Bryson is.
So what's he hearing? What are you hearing about his draft prospects? Because what I read is late 2nd round to undrafted. Is that kind of where you imagine that he might go?
That's what I'm what he think he's going to draft, because I don't want his and doing rounder. I think he'll be a mid to late 2nd rounder, and then if he doesn't get drafted, I know he'll get an undrafted free agent contract. Okay, so if you were making a pitch to a general manager, to a head coach right now, what would you say as to why that team, what type of believe that concentration overrules talent, and Bryson is a guy that's going to put in 125% in the gym. You know, he's a guy that doesn't do a lot of nightlife type stuff. You know, he's loyal, he works hard, and he's willing to learn. You know, so those are the main things that, and he's going to bring great attributes to whatever team that drafts him or signs him as a free agent, because he's just a great guy, so he'll be a great teammate.
And he'll always come back because Fresno is his hometown.
Absolutely.
Last question I want to ask you before we let you go. So JoJo Hunter is going to be a Bulldog this next season. Another guy who played his high school ball who's from Fresno.
Yes.
You obviously coached against JoJo Hunter. So
Yes.
what have you seen from him? What can Bulldog fans expect to see from him this next season and beyond?
I mean, I think he's an NBA talent. I mean, he's exciting. He loves to sit down and defend. He's very athletic, and he can score the ball. So I think we're getting one of the better guys around to actually stay home and play in front of a hometown crowd, because usually that doesn't happen often.
Wow, NBA talent. That's saying a lot, too, because Memorial has Jalen Green, who's already in, but he's still a teenager.
Right.
Jamar Chisholm, head boys basketball coach at Roosevelt. Thanks so much for coming in today, and happy Mother's Day to the women in your life.
Thank you. Happy Mother's Day also.
Thanks, Coach. We appreciate it. Up next on the Bulldog Insider, what happened on this day in Bulldog history? That's next.
Looking for furniture for the kids? Well, higher line. Twin headboard and footboard with side rails for just $3.99, and the headboard lights up. Or this twin poster headboard and footboard, just $4.99. For a great selection of bunk beds, dressers, nightstands, homework desks, the most unique collection of youth furniture you've ever seen, check out Kids World from my friends at Fashion Furniture.
We are the tillers, the nurturers, the architects of flowers that spark the senses, landscapes that conserve our water, seedlings that will one day help provide the oxygen we breathe. We are the caregivers, cultivating and protecting. We are the garden coaches in classes and seminars, consultants at homes and businesses, encouraging and inspiring. Now together, we are the future. We are Belmont Nursery.
What makes best reviews the best reviews? They have an real-world situations to get reliable recommendations on pretty much everything.
Call that a plasma sword?
So you can be confident that whatever you're buying is right for you, no matter what life throws at it. Like your daughter Clementine, for example. For the best reviews, go to Better. Seriously, before you buy anything.
Of anti-aging medicine at Maj Medical Clinic. Dr. Majzubi's treatment uses the healing benefits of your own stem cells for your optimum health.
I had stabbing pains in my legs from the neuropathy. I did a lot of research. It was a miracle, honestly. I felt better the next day.
If you're suffering from asthma, COPD, arthritis, autoimmune disease, or other neurologic conditions, call Maj Medical Clinic and see if stem cell treatment and cellular therapy are right for you.
Look, Mommy, it's Max. Fiesta Auto Insurance and Tax Services, along with our friend Max, always ready to help maximize your refund. DUIs, tickets, no license, no problem. We offer the best services and prices in the Valley. Visit today and get your policy over the phone in minutes. Need to transfer or update your title? We offer same-day DMV services. Come in and get your tags today. When you see Max, you've arrived at Fiesta Auto Insurance and Tax Services. Visit or call us today.
KSEE 24 News is brought to you in part by the Fresno County Superintendent of Schools.
Welcome back to the Bulldog Insider. The Fresno State softball team has one series left in the regular season. Next ago, the Bulldogs ended their regular season today in a doubleheader against Louisiana Tech. And a certain Bulldog pitcher set a record that day that still stands. It happened on this day in Bulldog history. Brought to you by Midland Tractor. 2010. It had not yet been named in honor of Margie Wright, who was still the head coach at Fresno State at the time. And her Bulldogs were hosting Louisiana Tech, a doubleheader to end the regular season. In Game 1, Michelle Moses was in the circle, and she was dominant. A complete game shutout with 18 strikeouts, the most strikeouts in a 7-inning game in Fresno State history. Moses actually struck out the first 13 batters she faced. That was also a record, most consecutive strikeouts. However, that record has since been broken by Danielle East in 2018, 15. For Michelle Moses, 2010 was her sophomore season. She improved to 9-1 that day after pitching her team to a 4-0 win over Louisiana Tech. Afterwards, she said, quote, "It was great to be out there and just get the job done. I felt like all of my pitches were moving pretty well today." 2 days later, Michelle Moses was named the WAC Pitcher of the Week. Moses did not pitch in the second game of that doubleheader. Mackenzie Oaks was in the circle. The Bulldogs lost 3-1. Fresno State ended the regular season that year with a record of 36-17. The Bulldogs made it to the NCAA tournament, their 29th straight NCAA tournament appearance. They've been to 34 total, their most recent last year, 2021. We'll be right back.
Our power in the valley is at Fashion Furniture. A zero-gravity powerlift recliner will lift your spirits and change your outlook on life. Dozens of designs and hundreds of covers, many available for immediate delivery. Or you can order in the cover and color of your choice. It's all part of the Fashion Furniture experience on El Paso, across from River Park.
There's a reason big dental bills often come as a shock, because sometimes you don't realize what's not covered until you get the bill. That's why affordable dental insurance from Physicians Mutual is important. It can give you benefits that go beyond what you get from more limited coverage plans. Because no one likes a big dental bill, especially if you're retired or on a fixed income. For a free information kit, call or go online now. This isn't some discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance that helps cover over 350 procedures, like cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, any dentist you want. Dental insurance from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company helps cover preventive care, basic work, and major procedures with no deductibles and no annual maximum. For your free information kit with all the details, call now or visit sendinfokit.com.
Physicians Mutual. With as rich as the valley soil. We bring the latest technology to our customers and provide on-site training and startup with the promise to stay until your equipment is performing as it should. Midland Tractor guides and supports through sales and unmatched service from the ground up. We've been committed to grower success through story continues. Midland Tractor Equipment Solutions, guaranteed.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things.
You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it.
We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers.
We're normal people just like you.
And together, we can make a difference.
Take on your legacy.
KSEE 24.com
to find out more.
KSEE 24 News is brought to you in part by Midland Tractor.
Welcome back to the Bulldog Insider. Time now for our play of the week. It's brought to you by Exhibit Supply Company. Aaron Judge hit a home run in the 6th inning. The home run was caught by a Blue Jays fan. He gives the ball to a young Yankees fan who was right nearby and who was wearing an Aaron Judge shirt. The next day, both of them got to meet Aaron Judge. Very cool, and he loved that moment as well. Our tweet of the week from Wednesday, Brett McMurphy, a college football insider, reporting from a source that the Mountain West Conference is, quote, likely to eliminate divisions in football beginning in 2023. Right now, the West Division winner plays the Mountain Division winner in the Mountain West Championship game. It's been that way since 2013. If there are no divisions, then the conference is guaranteed to have its 2 best teams play in that title game and theoretically be better positioned for a New Year's Six Bowl or possibly the college football playoff. Last season, there were 4 10-win teams in the Mountain West, including Fresno State. We'll be right back.
Until now. Looks so good. Solid American hardwood bedrooms. Choose your style, choose your finish from Artisan and Post. Made right here in the USA since 100 Virginia artisans. Solid by Artisan and Post. Sold exclusively in Fresno at Fashion Furniture on El Paso across from River Park.
It's your property. Keep the bad guys out. Be proactive. Call A1 Lock and Key for on-site installation of bump-proof door locks. And A1 can replace and activate car key fobs for a fraction of dealer prices. For home, business, and auto, A1 Lock and Key in Old Town Clovis.
Summer's here, and with an exciting new Toyota, you can take a trip to the beach, the city, the mountains, the desert, ooh, the bayou. I think I'm sinking. Definitely sinking.
New fuel-efficient Toyotas are arriving daily. Get low financing on RAV4 and Highlander, including hybrids, or get up to $1,000 cash back when you finance with Toyota on 4Runner 4x2s.
Your summer starts here.
Toyota, let's go places.
A1 Pro Car Beauty Products is all you need to keep your pride and joy looking its best. Use what professional detailers have used for over 70 years. Pro Car Beauty Products, available at A1 Lock and Key in Old Town Clovis on 4th Street, west of Pulaski Avenue.
When I'm at my high school, I want to feel safe. I want to
control my education. I want to control my future. All the time, even at school. At Learn for Life High Schools, I can. I can change my story, and so can you.
enroll anytime to control your education, completely free.
What's it like having Xfinity Internet?
It's beyond gig speed fast. So gaming with your niece has never felt more intense. Hey, what does this button do?
No, don't!
We're talking supersonic Wi-Fi, 3 times the bandwidth, and the power to connect hundreds of devices at once.
That's powerful.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
You just did. Unbeatable internet from Xfinity.
Made to do anything so you can do anything. Whoa.
NBC Monday, it's the American Song Contest Grand Final. And 10 artists will have one last chance to win America's vote. Performances by Snoop and Kelly. You choose the grand final winner.
Make some noise! It all comes down to this.
American Song Contest Grand Final, live Monday on NBC.
KSEE 24 is brought to you by
A reminder, you can always watch segments from the show online at yourcentralvalley.com. Whether you missed them the first time or like them so much you want to watch them again, the website is yourcentralvalley.com. We want to end with another look at some Bulldog baseball notes. We showed you this at the top of the show. The Mountain West Tournament made 26th through the 29th in San Diego. And again, it's only for the top 4 teams in the conference. We have an update today because Air Force lost in 12 innings to San Diego State. And as I mentioned, entering today, Fresno State and Air Force were tied for 4th place in the conference. And so if the Bulldogs and Air Force end up tied when the season is over, Air Force will get in over Fresno State because Air Force beat Fresno State 2 out of 3 times this season. Well, right now the Bulldogs are 12-12 in conference, Air Force 11-13, San Jose State 15-12 after losing to Fresno State today. And so I know that's a lot of numbers to throw at you right now. UNLV is 1, Nevada is 2, then San Jose State, Fresno State, and Air Force. Hopefully you got all that. Still 2 series left for the Bulldogs. Again, they have UNLV and then Nevada, the top 2 teams in the conference. That's it for us. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next Sunday. Have a great night.
You miss it, don't you? The news.
Of all that noise.
Well, it's time to come back.
Client's lawyer. Facts. Why did your client's lawyer up? Come back to fearless reporting.
Robert Sherman in Western Ukraine.
Air raid sirens are going off.
To the people behind the headlines.
We keep ignoring the people that we just
is your agenda.
We start tonight in America.
Come back to the news.
News Nation.
News for all America.
Here are your Fresno State Bulldogs. And
MVP partner, Exhibit Supply. We are the official canopy of Fresno State Athletics. Exhibit Supply provides custom canopies, flags, and tableskin premium table covers around the world and around the valley. Your winning team. The official canopy of Fresno State Athletics. Go Dogs!
At Central Floor Supply, we have the floors your home has been dreaming of. Our warehouse is filled with name brand, waterproof flooring, and luxurious carpet that will make your home the envy of the neighborhood. Like our Mohawk Smart Strand, forever clean, exceptionally durable. So before you go to the big box stores, come check us out first. Save time, save money, and save the headaches. For the best in flooring and real customer service, call Central Floor Supply and see.
Sometimes choosing can be difficult, but at Corner Bakery, we're making your choice simple with Choose 2 options every day. Choose 2 of your favorites and turn a simple lunch into a perfectly paired meal. And we're not talking about a few Choose 2 options. Pair up a fresh salad or and sauteed pasta. So many kitchen-crafted options, so little time. Your perfect Choose 2 combination is waiting at the Corner Bakery.
I started Betty Check 24 years ago on KSEE 24 to help save lives. Download the YourCentralValley.com app now for monthly self-exam reminder.
The following paid commercial program does not reflect the opinions and views of Nexstar Broadcasting Incorporated, this station, or their employees and affiliates.
The following program is a paid advertisement for AAA membership. Brought to you by AAA Northern California, Nevada, and Utah. Always rely on to be there when you need immediate help, any time of the day or night, even when you're hundreds of miles away from home. Always giving you and your family peace of mind, with people, benefits, and services always there for you to make your life a little easier. A company you know is always with you. AAA, a company built by and for members.
Hi there, I'm Jeff Thisted. Chances are you know about AAA's legendary roadside. So come along and discover how AAA not only gives you peace of mind, but helps you enjoy life's little pleasures for a whole lot less. Discover how the power of over 56 million AAA members nationwide lets you save money throughout the U.S. and Canada. Save at over 100,000 of your favorite retail stores, restaurants, hotels, attractions, and more.